Hey everybody, Leoben here. I'm back for the continuation of my joint ops match. It's a Sabotage mission from the core rulebook, and I've got the Angels of Death against the Goremonger NPOs. So far I've taken out one Sabotage, one objective marker. I've got to get on the marker, take an action to sabotage them. The other two on the flanks of the board, there's one inside the structure and there's one I'm getting close to taking right there. I have a little bit of opposition with these two Goremongers, but I should get that one, and then I've got 2 turning points to get the final one. So for the start of the 3rd turning point, I'll roll initiative. Looks like I got it. And for my first activation, right after I reset all my tokens, I think I'm going to take a shot with my sniper. Okay, so for my first activation, I'm going to activate the Eliminator Sniper. He's able to shoot while in conceal. Target will be the NPO boss there. He's the heavy brawler. He's already taken out my warrior, my intercessor warrior, so I want to put some wounds on him before he gets into combat with my intercessor Salt Marine here. Okay, I'm going to use the Executioner shot with his rifle, which is 5 dice. Hitting on 2s. It's heavy, so he can only dash. Saturate takes away the cover save for his target. Seek Light doesn't come into play. Silent allows him to shoot while in concealment. All hits and all blocks. Wow. The heavy brawler has a 3-up save, so these are easy blocks. Blocks 3 hits, so 2 hits go through for a total of 6 damage. Okay, for a second activation, he can't shoot his rifle again. It has to be a bolt weapon. This actually is called a bolt sniper rifle. Maybe he can shoot his rifle twice? He can shoot his bolt rifle, the sniper rifle twice, but it counts as an extra APL, so 1 extra activation to do it. That's fine, he has 3. So he shot with the first one, and he's going to shoot the same target again with the second one. And that'll be his turn. Wow, another 3 blocks. And another 3 hits with a critical, but the critical gets blocked. 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 2 2s go through for another 6 damage for 12. However, the heavy brawler has 14 wounds, so he has 2 wounds remaining. Okay, so I'm thinking the worst thing for me might be for this tough brawler, Goremonger, to climb the ladder and charge me up here on the building, but because that sniper has been doing his work. But there is an objective here that I'm kind of just about ready to claim, and I think that would be the top priority of the NPOs to stop me from doing that. So there is a fight going on right here between my heavy intercessor gunner, and there's a brawler there. There's a brawler right here behind him. I think continuing this fight would be what I should do. I have to check though whether or not he can charge. Now, he can't really see the gunner. I'm not sure if he's allowed to charge without line of sight, so that's what I'm going to check. if he's allowed to charge in, he'll do it because he definitely has the movement to close the distance, come around the corner and charge. That'll give an advantage to the NPOs because then they'll get an assist, which just makes it easier to hit. Okay, basically the charge is just like a reposition, plus 2 inches, so he's going to do that. He's going to come around the bend and into engagement range and charge. Both roll 4 dice in the fight. They both hit on 3s now that the next Warmonger is assisting in the fight, so they're both hitting on 3s. The Warmongers have ceaseless. The Brawlers have ceaseless, so rerolling 1s. Ceaseless lets me reroll the 1, which is another 1. So 2 misses and 2 misses for the Marines. So attacker first. Attacker's going to strike for 4 damage. I think I'm going to block it. Well, I can't block it because I can't block the one that just happened, but I could block the next one. So I'm going to block, and then that blocks this next attack. Then I'm going to strike for 3. Yeah, he uses, it's only 3 damage. So they each do 3, well, the Gormongers do 4 damage, the Heavy Gunner does 3. Alright, this may seem very uncaptain-like, very unleader-like, but the leader is not going to charge in to help in combat. I'm going to leave him alone, either shoot or sabotage the objective. So instead, the Grenadier is going to run in, and he's going to fight. Alright, in this case, both sides have an assist, so I guess they both hit on an extra +1. The Grenadier fights with a chainsword, so 5 dice to the Gormonger NPO 4 dice. Grenadier normally hits on 3s, so he's hitting on 2s with the assist. The Gormonger NPO Brawler hits on 3s with ceaseless. Alright, 2 hits for the NPO side. Normally I hit on 3s, so 2s are good for the Grenadier. So it looks like 4 hits to 2 with a critical. Alright, first thing I'll do is block, and then the next attack will be blocked. So block, strike. Why not do it again? Block, strike, and then a crit and a regular with a chainsword is 9 damage, enough to kill that NPO. Alright, I need to do a strategic ploy for the NPO side. They only have half of their team left on the board, so they get reserves. I think the reserves have to come in again on this side because that is the side being threatened. So there are 2 ranged marksmen and 2 brawlers. So let me roll just a 50-50 chance whether or not the brawlers come on or whether the marksmen come on. 1 to 3 brawlers. The marksmen come on. They enter 6 inches. So they're coming in right there. And now their activation. I think I'm going to leave them alone for now. And instead, the Herald, or the NPO leader, which is the tough brawler, or the heavy brawler, is going to charge my captain. Just because otherwise my captain may join the fight or sabotage the objective. So that would be, this would be the worst thing for me, I think. The only thing is, this heavy brawler has 12 wounds on him. He only has 2 wounds left, so he's probably going to die here. But he's a good fighter, so we'll see what the dice do. Alright, so 5 dice each. The captain with his power sword. The Herald has got 5 dice with Ceaseless. The captain has Brutal, so only criticals block. Let's see what the dice do. Space Marine Captain is the defender here, so the Herald will actually choose his die first. There's a 1 to reroll. There's another 1 to reroll. And they turn up hits. So 3 hits with a crit. The Space Marine Captain blocks on 3s. So these 3 are failures. So 1 crit. Okay, so let's work them out. If I don't block right now, the Herald will die. So this has to be a block. Alright, so this blocks this attack. Again, if I don't block, he dies, so I'll block. And now he's just going to hit with a wound of 4. So he puts 4 wounds on my captain and stays alive. Alright. Now, I'll activate one. They don't want to get into hand to combat, so I can't interfere with this fight. What they want to do is shoot. The only target that they can really shoot at right now is the Grenadier. Do I move first? They really want to try to get into cover before they shoot, but where are they going to go? I guess move up and just peek around the corner is what it'll do. I'll give him an engage token, and he's going to shoot at the Grenadier. So a warrior marksman has 4 dice to attack. Shooting on 4s. This is no Ceaseless, only on the close combat attacks they have Ceaseless. It looks like the Grenadier blocked everything. Oh no, it didn't. Oh, maybe he did. I have to check, but is it possible to block a critical with 2 normals? I think maybe I'll check that. Yeah, that's a thing. So that shot failed. And my gunner is... he can fight. He's going to try and attack the Gormonger next to him there with 2 wounds on him. This is a straight up fight. 4 dice piece. Ceaseless. So 3 hits with a crit. And 1 block. So there's a lot of wounds on this gunner. And I have 8 wounds left on the brawler. Yeah, they have 10 wounds apiece, so he'll survive no matter what. So he's gonna just go all out. So attack. That does 5 damage. And gunner, the heavy gunner already has 7 on him, so that's 12. So even if I block with this, I'm gonna die. So I might as well hit with this. So that's with fists, the heavy intercessor gunner does 3 damage. So that's 5 total on the NPO. Then 4 and 4 is 8. That's 20. That's enough to kill him. He has 18 wounds. So down he goes. Alright, next activation. I've got an NPO with a gun. Gonna have to move up a little bit, maybe? No, I think there's line of sight there. Just gonna shoot at the Intercessor Grenadier. It's a normal warrior marksman. Hitting on 4s. Looks like a complete whiff. Alright, my captain is going to activate. He's in a fight with the Herald, who did some damage to him. The Herald charged him, but now he's going to return punch with that Power Fist. And each side rolls 5 dice in the attack. Captain hits on 3s. So 3 misses. But he has a crit. The Heavy Brawler Herald saves on 3s. So every one of them is a save. Really wants to stay alive. So the problem is the captain has the attack. He can attack first. And I cannot block yet because it's not my turn. It's not the Herald's turn to allocate dice. So the initiative here is important. So the first hit is going to hit. It's going to do 5 damage and kill the Herald. Even though the Herald's got all these dice. So the captain takes out the leader. Alright, over to the MPO side. I think I'll charge here, knowing that he's probably gonna get shot by the sniper. And my next activation, the NPO side, is gonna charge, try to get into a fight. So definitely 8 inches. The 6 reposition plus 2 is enough to get him up and over and into engagement range. Just gonna leave him on the crate there. All right, 4 dice for the tough brawler, and 5 dice for my Intercessor Assault Marine because he's got that chainsword. All right, it's a good roll by both sides. Power armor I save on 3s. 2 criticals. The NPO. The NPO did the charging, so he allocates a critical. That's 5 damage. I could block the next critical with 2 dice, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna get an attack to go through with the chainsword. That's 4 damage. Another 5 damage with a critical. Puts another that's 10 damage. I have 4 wounds left with my Marine. So now, do I want to block? I do. I want to block. I'll defend this die. So maybe I was doing this wrong the whole time. So this was a 4, right? So if I wanted to block a die, do I just say I'm blocking this die and take it away? And now it's back to the opposite side who uses this die to attack? Or do I just say, okay, I'm going to block with this, and now the opposite side's turn is to say, okay, if you block, I'm going to I'm going to attack, take that away, and now it goes back to the Marine. That's what's confusing me. I'm not sure. I'm just going to keep on alternating and say that it's the Marine's turn, he allocates a block die. It's the NPO's turn, he allocates a strike, they cancel. Back to the Marine's turn, he's going to block, attack, attack. Correct me if I'm wrong. It makes a difference. It definitely will make a difference if the block die. If this is a block die and I say I'm going to block and I just cancel that, then it just comes back to me, and that doesn't seem right. But then I get 2 turns in a row. So I think I have been doing it right. All right. So the end result is I have 1 last strike to do 3 more damage, and so the net of the combat is 10 damage to my assault marine, 8 damage to the Goremonger. They each have I have 4 remaining. I'll count up just to keep it consistent. So 10 damage onto the Marine, he has 4 left. 8 damage went on to the Goremonger, he has 2 left. And that was the NPO's activation. So my activation is going to be my sniper. He currently cannot see anybody. Next turn, he's going to get charged. So I'm thinking he runs forward. He's going to have to climb down the wall of the building here. And then he's going to dash up the alleyway. And then he would be the only one on that side to try and sabotage that objective if he lives. Okay, there's no fall damage. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump. I'm going to jump off of the edge of this 4 inches in a straight line, and then he just drops to the ground. Alright, since the building is 4 inches high, if you drop 2 inches, you ignore the first 2 inches, but then there are 2 inches I have to make up for, so that's 6. That's his first activation. He can reposition for his second and move down the alley, getting closer to that objective. And that's where he winds up. The NPOs have 5 models on the board, so no reinforcements yet. It looks like the only one yet that has to activate is this one. And what's the shortest distance he can come around and try to get into combat? Probably this way. So he's going to come around the building and run after my sniper. Alright, I have my intercessor assault marine with an engage that's not flipped. So I don't think he's activated yet. I'm going to attack with his chainsword. This is going to be a quick fight because he has 4. The NPO only has 2. Ceaseless. Alright, the NPO is a tough brawler, hits on 4s. So 2 misses. The Marine hits on 3s. He's got a critical and 3 other hits. So this is going to be a win for the Marine. Actually, the first critical will just kill him. So I told you it'd be a quick one. Alright, that's the end of the 3rd turning point. I'm going to head into the 4th turning point. I've refreshed all my tokens. Sometimes I forget to do that, then it confuses me. They've taken their activation, which is not good. But I've got 3 NPO, but 2 of them are at range, so they're going to try and stay back and shoot. And I've got 1 that wants to get into combat, that's going to close in. I've got my captain there with the grenadier, who I can hopefully throw a grenade. If I can get initiative and throw a grenade, that would be nice. And then on this side, my assault marine is in the middle here with 10 wounds on him. So he's hanging on, with 4 wounds left. And then this NPO is sprinting after my sniper, who is after that objective with a satchel in his pocket. Here is the important initiative roll. It's a tie, which means the NPOs get it because I had it last turning point. So the NPOs go first. I'm back up to 3 command points. I'm going to take a look at my strategy ploys, see if there's anything useful. Okay, so I've spent 2 command points. Well, actually, it should go like this. The NPOs have initiative, so they are going to do their first strategic ploy, and that's going to be to bring in reserves. They are pretty strong on this side of the board with their melee operative. Their melee NPO has 2 wounds on him. He has 8 left, and then 2 ranged attackers. Putting pressure on that objective. I think the reserves are going to have to come in on the other side because now I've got these 2 Marines with no opposition and an objective right there. So they're going to come in on this flank. Alright, so I randomly rolled it. Their Herald came back, so the Heavy Brawler came back, as well as a regular Tough Brawler. They come in concealed, and for my ploy, I'm going to spend a command point and choose, and they will know no fear, which will allow me to operate and ignore the penalties of being more than half wounded, which will come into play for my assault. My assault intercessor here has got 4 wounds left. He's way past the halfway point. That's really it. I have a captain that's got a little bit of wounds on him, but he's not injured yet. So when you're injured, you're below half. I don't know if it's at half, at and below, or below. You get hit to your stats. So, and they will know no fear. We'll ignore that. The NPOs have no further ploys. My next ploy will be Indominus, which will allow me to take, if I roll 2 fails on my save, I could take 1, discard it, and make another a success. That's pretty simple. Alright. Seeing this side here, I think it's a pretty sure thing that I'm going to get that objective because they can't kill 2 of my Marines in 1 activation, right? So, I mean, unless they get some real lucky shot. Well, they can't shoot twice. Oh, only the heavy marksman, I think, can shoot twice. There is no heavy marksman on the board. But I think this is still the side I'm going to have to concentrate on because on the other side of the board, they've got their Herald, who came back in reserve, or they've got a backup Herald. Those 2 there are now going to come in, converge on that objective to protect it. The sniper is running, but he's got 1 behind him. And again, my assault intercessor here is wounded. He's not going to feel the effects of it, but another big hit to him and he's going to go down. So on this side, what I'm going to do is charge. At least if I charge, I can keep the Grenadier from throwing a grenade, and I can keep him from getting to the objective. So that'll be my first objective. That'll be my first action. Alright, so for this fight, the Goremonger NPO hits on 4s, the Grenadier hits on 3s, the Chainsword. There's a 1 there that the NPO can roll for ceaseless, turns into a hit, so 3 hits for the NPO. And these are all blocks. Well, they're all successes. It's not a block yet. The Goremonger goes first. Let's see, if he blocks and blocks, he's still gonna die. So let me just go. I block that one. Block that one. Block that one. I'm going to take 8 damage and die. So no sense really in blocking. I can't not die. What I can try to do is the most damage I can before I die as the NPO. So that's going to be 4 damage. And then the Grenadier with his chainsword strikes for 4 damage. That's 6. He has 4 left. The NPO has 4 left. He'll strike again for another 4, so that's 8 on the Grenadier. And then one last strike kills the Goremonger, because that's another 4, and he's dead. But he put 8 damage on the Grenadier. Alright, I think my activation is going to be I want to reposition my Grenadier to get behind cover in there, so these guys will have to move out at least to shoot him. But I think more important is my sniper over here. He's going to get run down if he doesn't try to get to that objective. With 3 APL, he could probably get onto that objective right now and sabotage it. And then of course he'll die terribly afterwards, but that's going to be what I'm going to do. Okay, after measuring it all out, he definitely has the movement to get to the objective and sabotage it with an activation left. So he'll shoot first. He's going to turn around. He's going to take a shot at this NPO with his sniper rifle, and he's going to turn, hop over the wall, sabotage the objective. I'm going to use the Mortis line on his sniper rifle, which says Devastating 3. Oh, I can't. You know what? I can't use my sniper rifle at all, because then all he can do is dash, because it's a heavy weapon. You can see it says dash only. So he's just going to turn and shoot with his bolt pistol, which kind of stinks, but yeah, he's got the sniper rifle slung around his back, takes his bolt pistol out of his holster and quickly shoots before he turns to run. So 4 dice, hitting on 3s. Couple misses here, 3 misses. Actually, yeah, he only hits on 3s. The bolt pistol he hits on 3s, with the sniper rifle he hits on 2s, probably because he's got that scope. And I seem to be missing a die. I don't know if I cleared it, if it was a hit or not. I think, no, I cleared 3 2s. He just whiffed that. And then 4s block. So these 2 are misses, but it blocks the shot, so nothing happens. And then he turns around. He repositions. And he sabotages. Boom. Okay, over here I'm going to take a shot with this NPO at the Grenadier, who's got 8 wounds on him. Because of deploy and they will know no fear, he doesn't have any ill effects of it, but see if he can survive this shot. Rolling 4 dice for the Warrior Marksman. Hits on 4, so that's 3 hits. And only 2 blocks. I didn't roll 2 misses, so I can't use Indominus here. One of them is a crit. So I could block those 2 and let the crit go past. Crit would be 4 damage. And I survive that? I think he has 14 wounds. So I would survive that with 2 left. Okay, now he's going to take his activation, reposition up to the objective, and blow it up to win the game. Alright, so that's it. Took me nearly 4 turns, but in the 4th turning point, the Angels of Death have taken some casualties. They lost their heavy Intercessor Gunner and their Intercessor Warrior, and they've got an Assault Marine here with some wounds, as well as the Grenadier with some wounds. My captain took some wounds, but overall it was pretty easy. I think the next time I do it, if I do this mission, at least I'll increase the wound limit from maybe 90 to 110, 115, and get another couple of heavies in there. Instead of just using one heavy, I'll probably put some more heavy marksmen. Well, actually they're called heavy marksmen, heavy brawlers. And I'm thinking about using a bolt style conflict 47 mechanic where I draw from a bag, maybe a token or a die to represent which model will activate, but that could be fun because it's random, but it could also lead to the NPOs doing some things that they shouldn't. Like there were some obvious turns, there were some obvious activations where I knew they had to activate a model in order to interrupt what I was doing. So I'll think about it some more. Look at some videos and read to see what other people do to add some randomness and unpredictability to their solo games. But this was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. It was good, and I hope you did too. I'll be doing another one. For Kill Team, I'll be doing some more 40k, Warhammer 40,000. I don't know if I'm going to do a full-scale battle or if I'll do a 1,000 point, maybe a 1,500 point. Once I get my terrain painted, I'll definitely be doing some boarding actions. And I'm still going to be using 10th edition. But in June, once the new edition comes out, I plan on moving over to 11th, testing that out. I don't think I'm going to build a new army for it. I'm going to stick with my Marines and my Tyranids. Although at the end of the edition, when they came out with the 500 worlds, I did buy that, and I really like it. And so I did buy some Necrons so I could do some of that. And other than 40k, there's plenty of stuff I've got going on, hobby-wise and gaming-wise. I love this Corps War, which you'll probably see another video from that uploaded soon. I really want to get into Pillage, this Baron's War, or the Baron's War, Conflict 47, Bolt Action, Blackout. I mean, there are so many. There's so many things I want to do. It's a good time to be a gamer. Thanks for watching the videos, and I hope you enjoyed them, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.